Should you be venting when you're angry? We've all felt it, right? That urge, it's just boiling out of you, and you've got to let this out before you just explode. So here's what some researchers did. They looked at 154 different studies on anger with 10,189 participants. And so we call this like a meta-analysis. They looked at a bunch of studies with 10,000 participants to look at what is the actual effect of venting on anger. You want to know what they found? They found that venting actually makes anger worse. When you're venting, you're building up what's called your physiological arousal, meaning the anger gets bigger the more attention you give to it, right? We know that when you express intense emotions, you feed those emotions. They get bigger and bigger and bigger. So venting is actually counterproductive. Instead, what they found is productive when it comes to anger is reducing that physiological arousal, meaning things that activate your parasympathetic nervous system, or in much more understandable terms, things that calm you down, right? Instead of venting to feed the anger, take a walk, do some yoga, do some meditation. Now, I understand that in the moment when you're angry, that's really, really hard to do, right? But for now, if you just don't feed the anger, that's enough. And then look at what is that underlying pattern that's triggering an anger response. Sometimes anger is very appropriate and useful. Sometimes it's a safety mechanism or a protective mechanism. It's something that you're using to keep people away. And instead of using that as a protective mechanism, we want to look at what are these underlying patterns so that you can learn to respond differently and not blow up. In the moment, do your best to calm yourself down. This can mean walking away from a heated argument. This can mean just taking 10 minutes to yourself, close the bedroom door, do some deep breathing, take a walk, take a drive, whatever it is that can lower the physiological arousal in that moment. And then long term, look at what are the patterns that's happening for you that are causing you to go to this place. You know, so often when clients come to me, they believe that they're here to vent, right? I'm here to vent. No, 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 no. That's not what therapy is about, because venting is just not useful. We're here to look at what are those underlying patterns. How do we change them so that anger is no longer your go-to reaction?